Desmond Ridder. Typical QB size at 6'3", maybe a little bit skinny at 211. Was a big fan of his ability to run with the ball, not afraid with that. Huge fan of his pocket presence and movement in the pocket. Again, it's something I've really focused on this year, is the compliments that the experienced QBs in the league get in and around that, just that little step here, that little step there, to buy them just a split second to make a play. I did see a lot of reps where he'd really step into the pocket to make the throw. He's athletic enough to evade pressure. Snappy release, gets the ball out nice and quick. Reads his progressions quite well. Some throws, sort of medium, intermediate throws, I saw come out a little high. But very, very good arm strength. Can really zip it in if needs be. Accuracy was one area I think I've got here, 62% across college. 50 games, very experienced, 28 rushing touchdowns, 87 passing touchdowns. I have to say, boys, I'm fairly in on Desmond Ridder.
Some people have got him as the top quarterback. Some people that I actually quite respect and read what they say. No one's feeling that. No?
Yeah, well, I was going to. Sorry, I got to be honest. He is. I've got him as number 3, right? And if it's purely based on today, he'd be number 2.
Why today specifically? Because
that would knock Malik Willis out of the conversation, because Malik Willis is there because of his upside. If that makes sense. It becomes.
Oh, I see. You're starting now.
Yeah. If it was what they are today, for me, I do think he's a little boom busty. I give you that. But I think his upside could be like a Josh Allen with movement ability, and he's overcome similar accuracy issues because he's improved.
Josh Allen, you see Josh Allen?
No, I'm saying that's his ceiling. Right? He's like a Josh Allen type player with not with the physical element, although he has got a little bit of that, but. Just being that dual threat that's still a pocket passer, like that guy who is can be an excellent pocket passer, but then is also maybe a dominant runner on the side, but doesn't move. Isn't like Malik Willis where that's his first instinct. I don't know, man. I like what I see. It seems like he's got the work ethic. He's got some, he has the fundamentals down, which is always a big thing that you got to search for these guys. Definitely has the
fundamentals. Sorry to interrupt you, but just a little nug with the fundamentals.
Yeah.
He's the only guy I saw out of this group saying taking snaps under center. Mm-hmm. Did you see anyone else? I don't know. It was everyone else was all shotgun all the time.
They were all shotgun,
This guy takes snaps under center, which makes him, for me, I think he's the most pro ready in terms of that with his rushing floor. Sorry, carry on.
Well, no, that's it, and then he's got some rare traits that I think are worth betting on. So if you want a guy who is maybe a little bit more pro ready, and I think he has a lot of upside. I don't know. It's the journey that Josh Allen went on that made me think of it, where he struggled with accuracy a lot in college, right? And Mike, you mentioned his accuracy was 62% over college, but it was 54% in 2019, and 66 and 64% the last 2 years. So. Certainly not.
It's definitely improving.
It's improving. It's a question mark, but it's improving. Which was what you remember a few years ago. The prevailing knowledge was that accuracy couldn't be taught, right? And that was maybe the one thing that you needed coming out of college. And Josh Allen has kind of turned that narrative on its head a little bit. But I'm a big fan of Desmond Ridder, dude. I think great size position, long strider, legit weapon with his legs, but uses it as his kind of secondary option. He still wants to pass the ball. Which I think after watching all these other guys was annoying me with everyone else, so maybe that's kind of got him a few extra marks with me. But quality footwork, movement in the pocket, reads the field well. I thought he's advancing his progressions and his decision making, makes quick decisions and gets rid of the ball. And I like these. I picked up on one of these last week. I'll do it again. The old area scout quotes. He's a humble leader who leads by example, and football is important to him. You will never have to worry about whether he's working on his game to get better. Area scout for AFC team.
AFC team scout.
Yeah, so I'm big on him. I'm still thinking about my red star. I'm going to leave it at that.
Ooh, wait, I thought you'd hang on. You roll back? I thought you red starred picking.
I again never red. You just played the drop. You can't just play the drop and say, "There you go. There's your red star."
Oh, right.
Surprisingly, I will agree with Si on this because I didn't circle it. I had the pen ready around KP, and he didn't say it, so I didn't circle it.
Okay. You know, Desmond Ridder was first. He won the combine, right?
That's true as well, yeah.
Yeah, he was best 40 time, 4.52.
Yeah.
Good vert, 36 inch, good broad, 10'7". So, all the Malik Willis fans out there saying he's the best athlete. Well, actually, Desmond Ridder was.
And he meets the golden quarterback rules in full. Big tick.
Okay.
Now, why is he falling? Because we spoke a lot about his pros. Why is he not in this conversation with the top 2 or 3 guys?
Accuracy. It is improving, but it's an issue. I mean, he is slow to see and do it. No anticipation. I just can't get on board, man, with the inconsistent ball placement. And it's not just the throwing, it's also that he throws balls that he shouldn't do as well. So there's decision-making in there as well with the accuracy. He's troubled by pressure, snatches at throws, which results in low release and swatted balls. So and the problem is you see intermediate throws which are overthrown from a clean pocket. That's just ugly to me.
Yeah,
I don't like that, and that's why I'm out.
He was very good on the shorter stuff, but you're right, Gav, in terms of the accuracy. There was an interception against Indiana. He threw the ball off his back foot and put a ball into an area where there was 1 receiver and 3 defenders. And just like a drunk man in Bolton on a Friday night, he was just asking for a takeaway.
Oh, nice.
Now, Gav, did you watch the Alabama game?
Can't remember. Sorry,
because
I never write down who I've watched. Sorry.
Cotton Bowl game.
Oh, maybe I can't remember, but yeah, dude, because that was where the batted passes were showing up for me. He was getting them all batted down. I must admit, a bit of concern there. But then, how much is that playing Alabama? I don't know.
There was knockdowns in other games.
Fair
I think
enough, yeah.
there was 4 versus Alabama. He's just not seeing linemen in his passing windows. But it did happen against Indiana, and it did happen against Notre Dame as well.
It's the snatch. He snatches at throws, right? And whenever a quarterback snatches at throws, they get swatted because they're low release.
Yeah, but if you've got a guy that's a pocket passer that prefers a short route, if he's not seeing linemen and not seeing strong safety coming towards him, he was either going to get a sack or a knockdown pass. And in this eventuality, he got a knockdown pass, but
his throwing motion is kind of slow, right? I think that's what I chalked it up to. He's got a very slow. I think Mitch Trubisky suffers from this as well. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but they've got like kind of heavy wind-ups, and it just feels like a little bit laboured to get the ball out.
Yes, but I also think it's the decision making, it's the processing with Ridder. He's a couple of ticks late to make the decision, so then that slows his release down from a mental side rather than a mechanical point of view. But just from a positive point of view, I mean, he had a fantastic college career. I mean, you can't write off what he's done. Dragged Cincinnati to college playoffs. I mean, when have they ever got to there? I mean, the best Cincinnati team
unbelievable
forever, and only lost to Alabama in the semi-final. But I mean, the comp for me was definitely, he's got a floor of Jalen Hurts and a ceiling of Tannehill, right? I mean, it's not that exciting. He is athletic, the good height, but the skinny frame with a good rushing threat. He's got good pocket escapability. I think one of you alluded to that. Big arm for the deep throw, and he's got better every year. And he makes plays, and he shows good toughness, right? And as I mentioned before, I think he's, along with Pickett, the most starter ready and it's the rushing floor that gives him that. So there are things to like about Ridder, but the accuracy leads me to say out.
Just on a leadership perspective, there was a strip sack which would have been a potential pick six. Well, it would have been a pick six if he hadn't have made the tackle himself. It wasn't a convincing tackle, but he ran after the ball carrier and made the tackle. And I just love that character, determination, teamwork, accountability, whatever you want to call it. He clearly has that. It's just the accuracy on some of the throws, isn't it? But there's a lot of positives. But I'd say I was in, but I wouldn't draft him at 20. I'd be looking at wide receiver at 20 or safety or whatever, and then Ridder would be like a second, third round guy if no one else takes him.
I really don't know where he goes, dude. I could see him going in the first round. I could see him going in the third round. I don't know.
I don't see a first round quarterback. I think he's a good second round quarterback.
I don't know if I see a first round quarterback in this class, but I get your point.
There's going to be one because it's a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. Of these quarterbacks, though, I'd be tempted of this. I really do think he's got good upside. I don't know.
Rich, where are you with Ritter?
Good stuff there.
I'm out on Ritter. He's wildly inaccurate, and he physically has a big wind up. And you can make it work if you have great anticipation. Byron Leftwich had a big wind up the same way, but he was able to make it work in the pros. But it's not preferable. It's a tough thing to deal with. So I just not enough about him that I like. And accuracy is always something I'm going to look at as being one of the more important aspects of quarterback. So I'm out.
Right. Fair enough. I had him at 5. Where'd you have him, Rich?
I have him at 6.
Well, you and me are the outs. So who out of the ins? Who's the highest? Where you got him, Si?
I got him at 3.
Oh. Guess. Mike?
4, I think, for me.
4.
Yes. Does that mean I get to claim him for my stable of boys?
I think he's your most, you're in your stable.
Nice. I'll take him. Just like I took Fields last year, the last guy who couldn't process.
You like the bad processes. So